Okay, well, hello everyone, and welcome to my brand new walkthrough for Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine game, which I'm going to be playing once again on the most difficult difficulty setting. And this is the original 1999 release of the game. I hope you can see me clearly enough in the webcam there. At the same time, also hope that it's not too big a window, but I'm getting to know this, learning as I go along. So, if anyone is surprised with any feedback on it, more than welcome to. I'm going to be obviously using my new methods with this recording, which I explained in my introduction video, I should say. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the game. Oh, I love the whipping sound of that. Starts the game. And then there's some golden coloured gears, or at least I think they're like golden colour. And then there's Indiana Jones right in the middle with his arms and legs laid out. And there's Lucas Arts as well, the words around it. And then I'll explain what I think the symbolism there means in a minute. Axis powers are called surrender to United Nations. Soviets grabbed new territory after the World War II ended, which was ended by the atom bomb, of course. And during the scholar digs up the past, there's none other than Dr. Jones, or Indy, another name for him. Okay, so here we go into the Canyonlands of the Grand Canyon in the southwest of America. In 1947, as you see in the moment, description near the bottom of the screen. There we are, American Southwest, 1947. And Indy has arrived in a Jeep 4x4 vehicle.
Time to go to work.
And then he's going to slide down a slope here. Some fantastic scenery around here, which I'll show off in a few moments. I'm first going to go to the mini section, but before I do that, I'll say quickly that the symbolism behind the picture of Dr. Jones with his arms and legs played out with his gold gears, well, to me that basically means he's like a metaphor for him getting stuck in problems that he needs to solve, especially the more intricate, complicated ones. And sometimes he becomes almost like a victim of his own circumstances and entrapped within the figurative gears of the problems that he needs to solve. So, but when the gears finally work together and stuff, then it's fantastic for him, and he can finally escape from the figurative trap that he's in. Okay, so here is the menu screen of the game, as you can see, and starting off with game statistics here, because I want to show you the various functionalities and tools of this game, things you can use. First of all, apologies that there's two arrows that show on the screen. Forgot to mention that in my introduction video. I'm sorry about that. There's two arrows. The one on the right, just ignore it. The one on the left is the one that matters. So no 0 chapters completed so far. Big fat 0. Sometimes I like to say it as a bit of a running joke, but of course they don't look fat or big. Maybe that is part of the humor actually as well. Time elapsed, nothing. So it's all 0, big fat zeros at the moment. Treasures found, again, big fat 0. Couldn't find any treasures yet. There's total treasures in the game, and of course, the more treasures you find, the more money you'll be able to make. So the maximum amount of money you can get to buy weapons, first aid kits, trauma kits, etc. as you find all 10 treasures of the level. And there's a hint penalty of 0 right now, because no hints have been used yet. But it's therefore, of course, if you do use any hints, you will be penalised. But I don't think you get penalised a huge amount. But I think it takes away about how much money you would make from the treasures. And difficulty penalty, if you make it any lower than the most difficult difficulty setting, then you would get penalised. And obviously, the lower you have the setting at for the difficulty, the higher the penalty. Okay, I'm not quite sure exactly what 5150 means for IQ, but maybe that just signifies that Indy is a very capable, smart, intelligent, cunning, almost warrior type hero. In his own way, he's a warrior. And then, I know it seems rather soon to show exit game, but It's the next one in the menu, so next one down. So let's get a quick. If you decide you want to exit, but then you change your mind, you think, no, actually you want to return to the game, then you click on that. If you decide you want to save first, then you can just save over a previous save game or create a new save game. And then once that's done, then the game automatically exits. If you decide, no, you don't want to bother saving, you just want to exit straight away, then just click on that. Right, so you can press X key or escape key to get out of there. Next thing I'm going to explain quickly is the sound options. You can have it anywhere from high to low. Now, I don't want to change it now because then I might forget exactly where it was. I want to keep it where it was, but you can imagine, it would go down softer to nothing, and volume at the bottom, and then obviously up to direction, up to high. Well, there made a sound. Yeah, the volume of that in how it is now. And you might have 3D sound as an option, but mine is grayed out because I'm using DigiVoodoo behind the scenes, so I don't need that. And there's nothing wrong with my sound, so I'll just click cancel because I'm not really changing anything. But if you have changed anything and you want to keep it change like that, then you've got to best to click on OK. Okay, display options. You can change it to anything you want. So now this is easier to go back to where it was because you have very specific spots it can go to. So you can go maximum, minimum. I just like to keep it like that. You might have even higher resolutions than me on your machine. Fair enough. If you do, you could change your true color if you keep it, but I really didn't see the point because there's hardly any difference, as far as I could see, between the two settings in terms of the graphics quality. But yeah, true color is probably quite a bit more demanding on a machine than high color. So with very little difference between the two, and then the other one being a lot more demanding, is it really worth it switching to true color? I personally don't think so. If your mouse disappears, mouse cursor, just press escape key, go flat. If you want to reset the default settings, then you just click on there. If you go to advanced options, click there. There as you can see, as I mentioned. And now I've got DigiVoodoo stuff here behind the scenes, and then you've got buffering, performance level, and mapping options, but I tend to leave those as is. I think I saw that out anyway in DigiVoodoo, so there's not really any need to do it in game unless I wanted to change anything, which I don't need to. So, but if you need to with these type of things, then by all means. Fog density, I find this spot here for me personally is just about perfect balance between fogginess versus sharpness and clarity. Really good sort of realism. If it goes lower than this, I found it's a bit too sharp, not enough realism then, and same type of thing, except not too sharp but too foggy instead. If you want to reset everything default settings, then you just click on there. See that I didn't change anything, I'll just click on cancel, or you can of course just press escape key, and again we'll just cancel. Okay, so next thing, control options. Now the first three boxes above, they're all grayed out. You got for deleting, can't delete them because they're default sets. But all the other ones below there you can delete if you want, but I don't see the point in doing that. You're going to create a new control set, you can click on there. Or if you just want to edit current control set that you're on there, then go there. And for example, if you want to change the key that's assigned to the function name role, then you click there, edit assignment, or you can say add assignment, but I don't see the point because they both do exactly the same thing. If you do edit, the next key will be assigned to role. Then you click any key on the keyboard, and then it basically gets assigned automatically. If you want to delete the assignment, click on there, but I don't see the point in that because in my opinion, all function names should have a key assigned to them. Seeing as I haven't changed anything, I'm not going to bother to save the key set, but if you've changed anything, and you want to keep it like that, then you have to click on Save Key Set. and then cancel escape key, and again there. Oh yeah, one other thing, if you want to enable mouse, you can click on that, but I don't see the point because my personal opinion, from a lot of experience playing this game, it works best with just with the keyboard. So yeah. Right, still an old game, you see, in the period it was in, the mouse wasn't yet all that compatible like it is now with games, especially action games and stuff. Gameplay options, well, this is very much an action game. Yeah, we are. The difficulty settings, I'm at the most difficult set level, Dr. Jones. Any lower than that, of course, you get penalised. You start with Fisherman's the lowest, followed by Sophomore, then Junior, Senior, jumped up too quickly, then Graduate, and Dr. Jones. If you only see any hints on the map, then you press the key that's assigned to a map first, which in my case is letter M for Mummy. I find that works best for me, but whichever key you want to use, click on that key to look at the map, and then once you're in the map view, and if you want to see any hints, just click on there, and a reasonably kind of larger shaped X key, X-shaped symbol will appear on the map. Usually, most of the time, it's to show treasures, as far as I know, where they are. Okay, if you want to rotate the map so wherever Indy's facing, if you turn, say, for example, then the map turns with him, then click on that. But sometimes that confuses me and causes me a bit of disorientation, so I'd rather keep it unticked. If you want to default to run, I've already got it ticked because I find this game works best. If you've got a default to run, there's lots of areas to cover. You'll be a lot quicker than most of them if you do running. Of course, if you want to be different and go more snail's pace, then by all means untick it. But then you would run. You would have to press the left shift key down before you press the forward arrow key for running. And then if you're near an edge of a ledge or something, then just like be really quick with pressing the jump key to jump. Otherwise you might fall to your death or get a really nasty injury. Okay, I prefer to keep it default to run. Then if you're going to walk, remember always to put the left shift key down first. Press that down before you press the forward arrow key. Because if you forget to put it down first, then when you press arrow key, you need to shift it down straight away. Just after that, you will just carry on running. And then if you're not on the edge of a ledge, you could very easily fall and to your death or get a nasty injury. If you want to see what the characters are saying, but it's free to be displayed in textual form, then click on that. But most of what they say isn't all that important, and most of important stuff they say, if not all of it, is pretty clear, easy to hear, so I don't see the point of having it ticked. And then I'll just click on cancel, and then if you want to load a game, you can click on any of these that you want, anyone, and open, load, but I don't need to load any games, so I click on cancel. And if you want to save the game, then click on there, and if you want to save over a previous save game, then you can. And of course, if you want to create a new one, you can just do it. Or even if you've already clicked on one of them, show you quick. Yeah, and you decide, oh no, I actually want to create a new one. And you do that, and it will not save over that game that you just clicked on, luckily, so don't worry about that. You just delete it and put new keys in, new name, then it will still leave that file, but you just click on load, and it will just add another one to the list of save games. So I'm not saving anything, I'm going to say cancel. Help, I don't seem to bother with that. I already that it's not really all that helpful as far as I know. And there's usually readme with this game anyway. I don't see the point in game. There tends to be, it's more kind of connectivity issues. Sometimes it's difficult to connect when in game to the internet with that. So don't know why, it's just the way it is. It is what it is. Okay, so there's a lighter. Well, you know, the cigarette lighter type lighter that you can use for. Indy doesn't smoke. But he still has it because it helps him to light up dark areas, which is usually useful for finding objects you would not be able to find otherwise, such as treasure and or first aid kits, trauma kits, etc. Of course, what sometimes is arguably even more important about the lighter, sorry, is that there might be scorpions or snakes hidden in the room. And more so the scorpion and the snake, if you do not anticipate it right away, you may be able to hear it, but you can't see where it is. Very, very difficult to anticipate it if it suddenly just sneaks up on you and it bites you, and then all of a sudden you're poisoned, and then you have to use a poison kit to heal yourself. Otherwise, you die. So you have to really have to. Very important to use the light, especially if you hear sounds. Also, then, and that way you minimise the risks of being caught out, surprised by, especially by scorpions. Okay, if you want to use any chalk, if you're like doodling in the game or just doing something different, or just, I don't know, relaxing in your own way, like with chalk, then by all means use that. Let's use, I haven't found any treasures yet. Big fat zero next to the word treasures, and in brackets says $0 because I haven't made any money yet from any treasure. Of course, that would change. If you found treasure, then there would be a number much bigger than 0. And poison kit, there's only one poison kit at the moment in Indy's possession, so there's no number next to it. If he had more than one, it would show 2 in brackets, I think, to the right of the poison kit label. First, I don't see the point of have being included in the game, but the design is maybe for authenticity purposes, to remain true to the spirit of the original movies, have that there as well, but it's not really much point in using that in this game. Not all that useful. And the whip you can use, especially across chasms, wide open areas. The only way to get across is with a whip, otherwise you fall to your death. Then, as long as there's an object jutting out on the wall, something that you can whip the whip onto, then yeah, go right ahead and swing across. Of course, if there's a ledge above you as well that you can't reach even by jumping, then you have to use your whip, and then once again whip the whip on that. And in this case, climb up to the top, to the ledge, and climb up and then, swing on to the ledge, yeah. And your most basic standard whip in the game is a .45 revolver, and it's got infinite ammo, which is fantastic, especially in the early levels of the game, where you're still building up on the ammo that you collect. You don't have any ammo yet, any other weapons yet, but building up on your weapons and the ammo that comes with them. So in the early levels, use the infinite ammo, this gun, as much as you can. And then when it comes to the tougher levels later on in the game, you'll have plenty of ammo and the more powerful weapons to be able to use against enemies and stuff. Okay, and just to the left of that, there's a health bar, which at the moment is green, which means that he's got full health. But if his health goes down a bit, it changes color to more so yellow, some of the yellow, and then all yellow if he's lost all the green part, and it keeps going on like that, down and down. It'll be yellow and red, and then just red and black, and when it's all black, it means he's dead. Sorry if I've babbled on too much there, so yeah. I'll just go back into the game right now. So, now to show you off the level properly, what I'm first going to do is actually, I'll show you some moves, but a bit later, because this is not the safest area in which to show it. So, like some of the less obvious moves that Indy can make. So, just do a running jump, press the forward arrow key followed by whichever key you've got assigned to jump. In my case, it's the X key. And jumping on the spot, of course, is like that. or climbing on the spot. So a standing climb is like that. And then to jump up and climb, just like that. Okay, so now you can see the Jeep that Indy would have arrived in. And you might assume that it's also easy to assume that Indy would leave in that same vehicle in this level, but there's a surprise installed for him, which I'll reveal a bit later. And there's a tent left and a few other bits and bobs around. And then, you can, forgot to mention left shift key, you press it down, you can also turn around quickly. And then press it again before I press arrow key, so he walks the runs. And then I press the Q key to look around the environment, whichever key you've got associated to looking around. And then the one you press arrow keys left and right and down, up to go down and down to go up. The waterfall, a nice big waterfall going down to the pool there. You'll be there relatively soon in this level. Yeah, more on that a little bit later. What you're going to do there. And yeah, there's a couple of very shallow pits there, and there's a gleaming object artifact, white color it shines with. It's easy to assume it's valuable, but in Indy's opinion, it isn't. There we are, you saw a much clearer flash there. So quickly, these ledges that you can climb up, and then you're going to work your way left, going around the back with this kind of cliff mound shaped thing. And it's dark brown color. 2 different shades of brown actually. There's to get to that section there. So, right, more than enough babbling on, and without further ado, the very first ladder of this game that you need to climb up, or Indy, shall I say, is to climb up. I like to make it sound personal, so I say you as well. And then you just fall down into this drop here, this area, and then there's a ledge that if you get up there, you'll find a hidden treasure. But it's too high for Indy to get to, as you see. There we are, you can't get to it. So there's a ledge which serves 2 purposes actually. Excuse the pun, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, it's all saying. And there's a bird on there as well, so double pun there. The whole bird thing, and it looks like it's suitable for Southwest America. And the colours around it make me think of like darkish coloured, tan coloured burger sauce, you know. Southwest American style, yeah. Southwest style, American, man. Anyway, you have to pull this block twice, otherwise you'll not be able to get through the gap that's behind it. And before I go there, let's climb up to the top of it, and there you can see the gap that you can go through to be able to progress in this level. Yeah, standing jump will suffice, and there you can find your very first treasure of this game. Silver coins. Right, no need to go back on top of the block, although you can if you want. And just go through this gap and then drop down. A gentle drop there. And then the C key, whichever key you've got assigned for crawling, in my case C, just click on that to crawl, and then click on the same key again to no longer crawl. A standing walk there, a slow walk, slow movement, and then there's a very first gap you have to jump across. That's a relatively easy jump, running jump. This one's a bit harder. Yeah, in both the jumps, yeah, if you fall down you would die, so yeah, be very careful of that. Quick save there, because this is a more difficult jump. Indy usually makes it. Yeah, he's a magician with jumps, he defies the odds. And he has the very first object jutting out from the wall.
That thing looks whippable.
Which I mentioned in my introduction video, so... Then suddenly the camera changes slightly. Oh, it didn't this time, I'm surprised. Come on. Sometimes better just to walk. Where is it now? Oh, okay, if you have forgot you have to draw the whip out first. You withdraw, take it out, and There we are. And then the camera angle changes. Oh, yeah. My bad. Sorry about that. I forgot to actually press the one key. That's the default for it. And then just press spacebar to put it away. But whenever you want to take object you want from your inventory, it's in terms of weapons. Always best just to click on the number for it. And number 2 is for the gun, and spacebar put it away. Because if the last key you pressed was a 1, and then you press spacebar again to pick a gun, but it will pick a whip instead, because it's just that's what the game remembers, you see. So best to stick to the numbers. And there's a little room in here, nothing in there, but don't let that fool you. There's another room above there, which links up to another part of this level, which you'll see quite soon. It's an optional section to go to show additional stuff in this level and how it all sort of interconnects together. Okay, there's a ledge there you will need to go to, and that ledge up there, because you need to get across that dark brown coloured object jutting out from that wall there to get across to the other side. An eagle hovering above there, but before we... Number 2 for the gun. Where's the snake? He's using a snake around. Surprised. Sounds a bit like a rattlesnake, actually. Yeah. It's usually like a lot closer to where India is. I'm very surprised.
Look what I found.
Kind of pleasant surprise though, because it's better when it's further away. Less chance of it being able to bite you. Although snakes generally are quite slow, so they're not that dangerous. Just still be a little bit cautious with them. Blue diamond. Yeah, so far the design is a good variety with the treasures. And then you have to do a running jump there to get to the sledge. And then, okay, so the angle, the camera changes ever so slightly, moving it upwards. Be mindful, the object fell down there.
Whoa.
Right, and there's a skeleton there with a gold bar treasure next to it. So, there's a bit of a recurring theme that there's a skeleton, and next to which is a treasure, which reminds me of some of the Indiana Jones movies. So staying true to the spirit of the movies. And it just so happens that sometimes it's near a skeleton. Don't read into that too much. It's just one of the things that it's just going according to what was shown in the movies. So yeah. Okay, so I might as well just go along here first, because we'll go back to that section later on with the skeleton and that. But if you were not going to go into the section I'm going to show you in a bit, then let's just to climb up into that room and get the treasure next to the skeleton. There was a blackbluish blue shade coloured idol. Let me just run through here. Now the section I'll show you in a bit that I'm referring to, well, it's coming up quite soon. It's the sections with the ladders there and climbing up there, and then room I told you about earlier. There was a room above, that other room that had nothing in it. Well, that's what I mean by there being yeah. There's a little edge down here, and then there's another drop down there.
Aha.
Some gold coins. So probably the first gold coins of the game, but just the fact that they're coins means it's a little bit of a repetition by the designers. So, well, designers, first time in this game they're repeating yourselves, in at least in one sense. Good to have a laugh sometimes, huh? Even if it's at their expense. Yeah. Climb up that ledge and then up this ladder. And you don't have to do this part. Okay. So it's I mean, if you don't want to do this part, then where I was earlier, and then skeleton, instead of dropping into the water, you would be better off just climbing up and getting the gold bar straight away. That's a reasonably safe gap. So if you can jump across with a running jump, it has to be running. You wouldn't have made it with a standing jump. Alright. Actually quite a nice view now, especially with the pool down below. I love the bright shimmering colours of it. Bright blue and white, sort of bluish white colours there. Almost looks like there's crystals inside it, but there aren't actually. Very well designed. Now give another view, even better, a little bit higher up. And then another ladder to climb up. Might be the final ladder of the section. And indeed of this level actually. And all the way up. Right. Okay, so that ledge on there, that was the final ledge from which we could view the room. So that was the top of the room. Right. You can either just climb up that step or jump like I did there. And you can, that's a low enough step that you can just run up it. Okay, without climbing or jumping. And this is the room above, which I referred to earlier. And here's the room in which is nothing. Okay, so it's best to go down to the ground here, because there's, yeah, that's where the object was earlier. It fell. Put you up across. Which, yeah, what the indie did. And you would if you're playing this game. There's nothing here. Just showing you. In case you're wondering, no, there's nothing around this area. If I was a designer, I might have included something there just to, I don't know, to make that space seem a little bit more relevant. But, oh well. Maybe that's kind of realistic. Just because it's a wide open area. Kind of wide-ish, open-ish, you know. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be anything there, so. Now, yeah, if you've done that section, then it's best to fall down there.
What's this?
If you haven't picked up the gold bar yet. And then down here is just some water. I think that Indy auto grabs. Yeah, because he prefers to be extra safe, being a doctor after all. Yeah, extra careful. Okay. Now there's a very first cutscene of this game, just about to appear. A short one.
Funny how I didn't spot this before. If this is the prize, I'll lose my grant for sure. Where are the priceless artifacts?
Wow.
The gilded idols? The crowns of kings?
Yeah, he's got frustrated now. That's cynical. Yeah. And that's the helicopter, that's the surprise I'm referring to earlier. Sophia Hapgood's flying it. She met the Indian in the
better get up there.
The second game was the Fate of Atlantis one, yeah. Better get up there, yeah. So he's going to be going in a helicopter actually instead of the Jeep, which you'll see fairly soon. I think this is the second blue-coloured diamond. So yeah, well done. well done, designers there. Yeah, well done. Repetition. Okay, so another treasure. Right here, this is the first red one.
What have we here?
So yeah, designers, a bit of a variety again, good. Although, the fact that they're repeating diamonds though, it's still, even though the colours are different now, it's changed, it's still diamonds. So yeah, then you repeat yourself with it being diamonds as treasures. I forgot to mention, it'd be also tempting to just jump up to that ledge, but if you did that straight away, you wouldn't notice this. And I kid you not, I've entered this level before with only 9 treasures, and I didn't have a clue where the final one was. I mean, it happened to be in this room. So make things a little brighter. You can see the whole room. Yeah, well, put your flasher on later. And there's a gold idol. So well done, designers. Another idol. It's only second idol, so I'll let them off for that. There's not so much repetition. And also the idols are probably a bit more valuable in value, so can't remember for I have checked on it once or twice, and I'm pretty certain that they were more valuable than the other treasures. So you just take my word for it. You know what I'm talking about. And then over here, it's a bit of repetition again.
Aha!
Yeah. But yet another treasure, which is great. Fantastic, and the more treasures you have, the more money you can get from it. And just jump up there. Let's check now. I think it's 9 treasures. There's just one left to go. It's very easy to find the treasures in this game. Except for that one that was a bit tricky. If you didn't notice that gap below, then you would have missed it. Okay, this is kind of a scary-ish looking jump, although it's actually not that bad. Indy tends to work magic when it comes to jumps. I'll just do a quick save anyway there, just to be safe. Yeah. You manage that one just fine. I've been 1 or 2 times before when I played this level where I assumed I would make the jump easily. I'd need to quick save, and then what happened, I fell to my death. So that's one of the reasons I didn't take any chances. But this one is an easier one. As long as you're sharp, just press the jump key down, and there we go, you'll be fine. There's a snake over here, so whoa. But that dealt with. Luckily, there's only like, I think, 2 snakes in this entire level that you have to face. That's the only enemies. So very, very easy in terms of enemies. And
look what I
final
found.
treasure. Yay! It's another blue diamond. Hey, well done, designers. Come on now. Oh, jeez, like he's interfering again. How do you see that thing? Sometimes I just like a bit silly like that, yeah. It just makes me laugh a bit as well. I don't care what anyone thinks in terms of find it too silly or whatever. Well, you know, we all have our own sense of humor, so it doesn't really matter to me anymore. And the essays up there about it, you know. Okay, so I'm going to do just a quick save here. Just about to climb up this final ledge for the end of the level. Okay, so climb up this ledge, and there's the end of level cutscene. And you're running past your jeep there.
Oh no.
I mean, walking past it.
What now?
Oh, the one and only Sophia Hapgood.
Sophia Hapgood?
Hello, Indy. Been a while.
I'll say. What brings you out west? Some psychic premonition about the treasures I should have found?
My, look at these wonderful potsherds.
Oh.
It's the new thinking in archaeology. Find some worthless debris, analyze it, understand prehistory. Kind of noble, don't you think?
There's an iron curtain coming down on Europe, Indy. The Russians are taking over.
I read the papers.
Want a real chance to be noble? We need your help.
Uh-huh. Who's we?
When I joined during the war, it was the OSS. Now President Truman calls us the Central Intelligence Agency.
Is that what you're up to these days? Soviet sabotage? Atomic secrets?
Don't be silly. We've got whole battalions for that. It's my job to worry about more unusual activity, such as this dig site on the Euphrates River south of Baghdad.
Babylon.
Remember your Bible?
Oh.
That's where mortals raised the Tower of Babel to invade heaven.
Well, you know, this does look like the ruins of Itimenanki, the ziggurat often identified with the tower.
Very good, Dr. Jones. You're looking at the brainchild of one Gennady Volodnikov of the Leningrad Physics Institute. He thinks there's some truth to the biblical legend.
Isn't he a godless communist?
He's a physicist who studies manifolds and hyperspace.
Looks a bit
Quirky
crazy.
theoretical stuff.
Now, what's a guy
Looks like
like
crazy
that
scientist.
doing in Babylon?
Not sure. All we really know is he thinks the atom bomb is a joke.
And why isn't the world laughing?
Indy, suppose the tower has some deadly force no one else had ever heard of. Something as dangerous as nuclear fission.
And the Babylonians tore it down for reasons not discussed in the good book.
Exactly.
It's an amusing theory, but as you can see, I've got troubles of my own.
You don't think I flew out here from Washington just to relieve your boredom, I hope. This came from the Russian dig site.
Somebody made a mistake. This looks like part of a steam engine. Maybe a locomotive from the last century.
There's no mistake. We've dated the thing. It's 2,600 years old.
Wow.
Really? Look at that little wheel spin. How'd you find it?
Come on, Indy, we're the CIA.
All over again.
We have spies.
Oh. Hey, also sophisticated, huh? You can see they were both kind of dissing each other there quite a lot, but Indy sparked it off, you know. Brings out himself, really. But yeah, their relationship is very much characterized by iron sharpens iron, in my opinion. So, really, really funny that. Probably the longest cutscene of the game. Anyway, here's the end of the level screen saying congratulations. Chapter's completed. Yeah, chapter is completed, I mean, is what it says. And a total of 10 treasures. And time lapse, just ignore that. It's not all accurate. Value of treasures found, $510. That's good. So it's this total treasure is exactly the same as that, because it's the first level. So now, my advice is there will be some poison kits to get to pick up on the level, but I like to just add one. And that's another reminder is that they're quite generously spread out in the first few levels. So pick up as many poison kits as you can early on in the game. Because much later levels are quite a bit harder. It's they become much more few and far between. That's just a friendly little warning to you. You want to try out this game. I just pick one first aid kit, buy one of those. Didn't need more than one. There will be some to pick up in the level as well. Trauma kit's quite expensive, so I don't do that for now. But there will be a couple in the next level to pick up. So yeah. At some point there'll be some medicinal sprigs and that to pick up, but I'll just buy one, and that's everything for now. Okay, so I have to click yes to continue with the purchase. Okay, so now we're going to go into level 2. Babylon, which is actually modern day Iran.
Babylon. A lot of mud brick and not much else. Why do the Russians want to dig it up?
Yes, like, it is hard to even be there. Like, in the first minute of being there, he's really dissing Babylon as well. Has this man got no limits? No wonder some people find him really, really annoying. Sometimes he can come across a bit like sometimes maybe that meaning to rub some people up the wrong way. Anyway, but you know, every character's got their flaws, which are kind of in some ways makes them all the more lovable, actually, which I think is the case with Indy as an action hero. Okay, just quick save here, and that's it for now. So, hope you all enjoyed watching that, and yeah, look forward to showing you the next level soon. Yeah, level 2 of the game with my new methods. Okay, keep well everyone for now. Cheers. Bye.